is up, YouTube? It's been a minute since I uploaded a video, but alright, so nobody on YouTube know I've been really freaking sick lately. Mostly of myself. But I said, hell, I got some followers, not very many, and I need to upload. So I've been getting a few questions about like my truck companies I've driven for, like TMC. The last company I was with, which now I'll tell everybody, which was BIR Transport. A lot of people don't know what happened with that company, but I'm going to tell everybody. I drove with them ever since I got out of active duty. When I first went to the company, it was a great company. Like, when I mean great, everything they promised, they upheld. After driving for them for about a year, the owner, long story made short, got greedy. I was one of the only drivers who stayed with the company. Well, me, my dad, and there was like a few other people who was with the company from like when the guy started back in, I want to say, the 90s. But long story made short, he got greedy, started letting the equipment go to crap, and I can understand business, but at the end of the day, you cannot promise your drivers. If you have a driver who's a local driver or a local plus driver, you can't promise him, hey, you'll only go out a night or two a week, you're off on weekends. You can't do that. This guy, he was doing this all the time to drivers, like the local drivers doing over-the-road stuff, over-the-road drivers not getting any miles, stuff like that. I started out as an over-the-road driver, and he, long story made short, let his dispatchers run me till I was like literally running out of hours. I was running about 600-700 miles a day, which isn't a lot, but when you account for, shit, I'm not saying that no damn lie. When you account for the fact of I'm still making stops within all of that, it's not fair on me as a driver. Because a route that everybody know that I did, it was a route from Augusta, Georgia, usually, well, somewhere in the Augusta, Georgia area, up to Greensboro, North Carolina. Head out to Taylorsville. Well, it started out with going to Taylorsville, picking up C.H. Robinson load, going back to Serta in Augusta, Georgia. Then they start having me go up to, I forgot where, it's a little small town in Virginia. Like, right when you cross the border into it, from, what's that new 73? Like, he'd have me run up there, pick up a load, and come back. But it was one of them, you know your driver's going to be in the area. Start having a pre-plan for them whenever for them to get unloaded and get out of there. Especially if it's a route that was a common route within the company. I would go and I'd run that route 2 to 3 times a week. It was either Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. And occasionally I'd slip in like a Friday here or there. It all depends on how it worked out. But he was up here doing that. My pay went from being like between 13 and 15 a week doing local thing to I was lucky to see $800 a week. And it's because I told them, one, I hated automatics. I wasn't driving an automatic whenever there's manual trucks in the fleet. Then they gave me my old truck back, which a lot of people know it's Tweety Bird. I call it Tweety Bird. It was an old Columbia glider kit. And I got that truck back. After that, the reason why they gave that back to me is because I ran a load to, I want to say it was Charleston. It was Charleston, South Carolina, and I was supposed to be going back to Augusta that day. Local stuff. They didn't give me any heads up, and the only thing I asked for, they wanted me to stay out, is let me know ahead of time so where I could better prepare myself to stay out. Because if I was just going out, coming back in the same day, I wouldn't bring anything with me. If I was going out and staying out that night or for 2 nights, I'd know how to pack. I'd bring food with me, stuff to basically hold myself over. That was my only want, really. They weren't even able to hold up to that end of the deal. So, me being the guy that I am, I'm like, don't promise me anything if it's not going to work out that way. So, December 20th of last year, it happened again. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and by this point, I was already out. Like, it was a Thursday, and I was already out from that Monday. They asked me to take a load to Savannah, Georgia, and then from Savannah, Georgia, they wanted me to run all the way down to, back up to Atlanta. From Atlanta, they wanted me to pick up a load out of there and go up to Charlotte to Tennessee. I'm like, y'all can pre-plan now, but when I was asking for stuff in the past, y'all couldn't do it. It was always, hey, we're working on you. Like, y'all know what the hell y'all doing. So, they went and had me pick up a load after the appointment time. Now, I'll tell you no. I had to take my daughter to a doctor's appointment, and I kept having to reschedule. So, after the last time rescheduling it, I was like, I'm not about to keep going through this. So, I went and told them, screw y'all can drive your own truck. I don't care anymore. And from that point on, like that day, I was actually going to take the load because they told me I could take it on to the house and just start up the next morning and deliver it in Charlotte. So, got there late and everything, and I'm up here like, actually, I didn't get there late. They gave me the load late. The appointment was for 3 p.m. And I was there at like 2:45. The guy who was working on the guard gate, he was outside knocking on people's doors. I'm in the guard shack waiting. He goes and say that I got there at 3:03. Arriving somewhere late is just something that I don't do. So, me being the way that I am, I was like, I'm not taking this load. I know what time I got there. And he was like, what do you want us to do? I was like, I don't care what y'all do. I'm going home. I had like 3 hours on my drive clock to drive a 5-hour trip. So I went and I drove the truck all the way from Atlanta, Georgia to North Augusta, South Carolina in about 3.5, 4 hours. Like, that was the fastest trip from Atlanta I've ever done. And once I got to the terminal, before I got to the terminal, I actually called dispatch to see if they would stand up for me, do their part, and they didn't do anything. So I was like, screw this company. They were like, sir, you need to stay there. I'm like, stay here and what? there's nowhere for me to park in Atlanta. By the time they get me loaded, I will be well past my hours, and I'm not about to drive off hours. Like, they were like, but still, you can wait there and we'll figure something out. I'm like, I'll figure it out for you. He's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I quit. He was like, you need to call the owner, Jimmy. And I was like, you got his number, you call him and you tell him. And the whole time, like, so that company, all the dispatchers are in India. The whole time I'm up here like, yo, I'm trying to do my part as a good driver and everything. And y'all really don't care about us. So I went and got the truck all the way in. And at that time I had we used PeopleNet for our login system. And I was like, okay, I'll just monitor to see what messages I got. Did not get any messages or anything from anybody. And the owner, he kept having different people calling my phone, like this woman Tammy, who was with billing and stuff like that, calling asking will I send the bills. And then like this woman, I don't know why she like threatening me like to hold my pay. Like that really scared me. I was like, you don't threaten drivers who have access to $100,000 worth of equipment, if not more. You're gonna hold their pay, especially knowing damn well you're not really paying them what they are owed. Like she would always threaten, saying that I wouldn't get my last paycheck. I'm like, I better get my last paycheck. I wound up getting it, but it was just always something with that company. Like they would be like, oh, you didn't turn your bills in, knowing very well I did everything that I was obligated to do as a driver. Like, one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to lie to anybody, especially if I don't fucking know you and you ain't do anything wrong to me. Like, is that one of my friends right there? Oh shit. I'm going to pick my kids up, but I just got tired of lying to people about why I'm not there by the right appointment time. Only thing you gotta do is call a broker and be like, hey, this driver is not going to be there on time. Can you move the appointment back an hour? A lot of brokers will do that before dealing with the extra crap. Like the, hey, well, he said he would do this, he said that. Like, you don't lie to people. Like, that's how you get respect in the industry. But I'm going to end this video right here, and I will be uploading another video later talking about TMC.